Hey, what's up? I'm Winston from Parkway Drive. You're watching Rock Sound.
Hi guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound in a very fancy hotel in London today, and for one very, very good reason. Parkway Drive's new film is on the way. Winston joins me now. How are you, mate?
I'm a fancy boy.
A fancy boy,
I'm a fancy boy in a fancy hotel.
Only the best for you, man. Only the best for you.
I'm doing good.
No,
How
it's
are you?
good to see you, man. Yeah, welcome back to the UK and everything. And let's start, with this film, because what an incredibly ambitious project, what an incredibly kind of apt project for where you are as a band now. Talk to me about how it came together, first of all. Why now?
Yeah, it's a really weird one, that. The way this actually came about was kind of odd because we had started filming things with no idea of what we actually wanted to do. And around the time when we actually were like, okay, we know we want to create something, we still had no concept. And the guys who made the movie, Hype Media, actually came to us after having directed the Void music video and said, we want to have a meeting with you guys if you're up for it. And we're like, cool. And they said, we would really love to make a documentary about you guys because we think there's something here that is really interesting to us. And they're from outside of like the metal scene. Yeah. So that was the viewpoint which we were kind of looking for, in the sense of we have a tendency to internalize everything we do, and, which is really, really great. But it also, you will show people what you think is good. And sometimes there's a lot of what we do which is obviously second nature to us these days, but a lot of our friends are just like, whoa, that's nuts. And you're like, really? That's kind of just what happens.
Sure.
So yeah, giving them the opportunity to provide the lens through which Parkway, like the operation, is seen, was kind of the where it started, where the concept
an outside
started.
eye kind of coming in and looking at what you guys do.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's been a very weird process to watch it being put together and to scrutinize it and stuff, because still it's that outside perspective, but at the same point in time, we've lived all the moments and we don't necessarily know how relevant that is or how big or small that moment actually is for someone that's not us.
Well, speaking of that, though, because that's the kind of interesting thing, is that it is sort of career spanning. You know, obviously it started more recently, but yeah, you do go back and you do look at clips in the past and everything. Was there anything that sort of revealed itself going back? Were there any moments that sort of surprised you how important they were?
The really weird one was that where are you going to be in the next 5 years moment, because that was one of the first things which popped up in the old footage, which we hadn't seen in a long time. We forgot that was there, and we're like, oh my god, wow, that's a really odd concept. Because I think I started even referencing it in interviews before we found the footage, and I think Ben was like, we have that on film. It's like, get out, really? Then he found it, and realizing just how young we really were. And like, I've always known that we honestly did not expect this to go where it has, obviously. But we've been doing this for a very, very long time. And seeing like that naivety of youth, and I like, when I look back at the footage, I see like the crazy good times, but also the nerves and the fact that we really did not expect this to go anywhere. Yeah,
it's funny how like it is sort of the perfect moment for you guys to be looking back in a way, because particularly on this last tour, I mean, just next level stuff, like such ambition to do, like fit these but successful ambition, like to fit a room like Ali Pali and do the kind of entrance with the flames and all that kind of stuff. Like you didn't just look at the room and go, oh, let's make our show match that. You're like, no, let's go bigger. That's kind
that
of
was
a
it.
nice thing. Right,
that was it. That's been the kind of ambition of what we wanted to do the last few times. For the last couple of years, to be honest, it was the idea of, we have a vision for what this band can be and what we want it to be and what we want people to experience, which is outside of people's perceptions of who we actually are. So if you're going to do that, you're gonna have to shock people, and that's been the entire idea of once we started doing it, and all of a sudden it was like, Parkway using flames, Parkway doing this, it's bigger, it's crazier, blah blah blah, and then it turned into just like, Parkway do like blow things up on stage, and turned into that one dimension of that. and it was like, how are you gonna go bigger? You can't fit more in. And we're like, well, instead of going bigger, we're just gonna start doing things which you're not going to expect, like walking in from behind you, and starting like and having a B stage and like releasing an album like Reverence and stuff like that, and it being, because that's always like, we knew those things were coming, but I see why people have always had a perception of who we are, but for us it never quite matched up with where we saw things going and what we wanted to do.
And I guess because you had that vision there, though, did it feel like a risk at the time? Did it feel like a risk to try that?
The thing is, it's always a risk in the sense of, if you fuck up, you go broke.
Right. Okay, there's that element of the risk. Yeah. There's always that element of the risk.
You know what? The thing with all of it has been, it took us a long time to trust ourselves in every aspect of what we do, and to be able to own the fact that we have been doing this for a very, very long time, and to have the confidence in saying, like, trust your artistic ambition in every aspect, and have faith in the other people around us, and have faith in the process that we've established and our taste in whatever we do, and that will translate to other people. Because it's very easy to kind of just to think that people will see the worst in what you do, because like we live in the internet age, like people will make fun of anything you do.
Everyone's a critic.
Everyone's a critic, yeah. Which is fair enough, that's the thing. But when you're someone that's actually genuinely creating something, it's very hard to filter that out for just like making fun of something, or which is what everyone does, and to take it all to heart, and that can be something which will hold you back.
Yeah.
So for us, like it took a while to get to that point, but once we did, it's been the thing where we're just like, no, just the risk is, I don't know, your ego's got too big and you think you can pull it off, but at the same point in time, I think we're old enough to know the difference between ego and simply calculated imagination.
Oh yeah. Calculated imagination. Yeah. I like that as a
there
phrase.
We go.
That really sums it up. Yeah. That's excellent. I like that a lot. Title of the film, of course, Viva The Underdogs. Do you still view the band as underdogs now?
100%.
Really?
100%.
But even after this level of success, even after you've pulled off those risks?
100%. I think when you go behind the scenes of, when you pull back the curtain on the way things operate within any kind of industry or anything like that, it's not we have wonderful people behind this band, and we have amazing fans, and we have a lot of hard work and like our skills behind it, but at the same point in time, we don't have a machine that is like, there is not a huge empire with stakes. Like, there's no one. The people that have stakes in this band are people who genuinely care about what is going to happen, and that would love to see us somewhere for that direct reason, rather than there being a bunch of other ulterior motives. So when you know that, and you know the way things operate, and especially when you are doing it yourself, you have that attitude. Like, that's the thing, and I really doubt that that's ever going to get like bred out of us in any way, because it's just it's hard not to feel that way. That's the thing. Like in the movie, we play that fucking headline set, which is absolutely mental. It took 3 or 4 songs for the reality of this is actually happening to hit home.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't quite click yet.
No, it was still, we still like walked into that with something really big to prove, but waiting for like the penny to drop, and waiting for the reality of like, we've got that slot, but people actually don't want to see you, or the rains are going to come in, or something like that to happen.
People don't want to see you.
Yeah, I know.
There's people who are waiting at the barrier. They didn't want to come see us.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's when you come from nothing, you know that there is a reality of nothing. That's the thing. So, and then 4 songs in, all of a sudden I was like, nope, this is just getting more mental.
This is happening. It's a thing.
So
How nice though to have like a team like that who actually understand you guys, understand what you're about,
yeah.
know where the ambition wants to go, all that kind of thing. Which I guess leads me on to my next question, which is 2020. I mean, what an incredible year you had last year.
Yeah.
What's on the list for this year? Do you have the aims and ambitions in mind in that way? Do you know where you want to push it next?
The thing for all of this is we don't take a step unless we know the steps behind that are coming after that as well. It's not simply just stumble on.
Smart move.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to be excited by what we do. Like in every aspect of it, as much as it's scary to hope that it doesn't fail, it's awesome to be given the opportunity to play Wembley because you sold out Ali Pally. The thing is, the numbers behind that give you some comfort in going, well, this many people will have literally come to a gig and they know what you're capable of doing. So when you do something more next time or do something different next time, know that you have that behind you. You have that amount of people that are wanting to see something.
Good, easy barometer right there.
That's the thing.
This is working for sure.
That's the thing, and that's been the thing for us, which is it's been the thing that we've fallen back on in the sense of we haven't, although there's never been that one spark moment, like the viral moment where Parkway puts out a music videos and 1 billion people watch it and they do the funky dance that's going on, or there's the ringtone that's going around the world.
I want that funky dance.
That funky dance,
fan.
That's
funky dance.
We got to work on that for the next clip. It's literally just been create, do gigs, and people come and experience those. And the trajectory just has been it's been reasonably exponential over the last few years, of the sense of you put on a show and the next time the show is the people that came last time and a friend that they bought, and that's how the numbers work. Yeah. So it's that's a pretty cool thing to be able to fall back on.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it, when you talk about arena level shows being a word of mouth success, but it almost is in a way, because obviously you've got a massive online presence. Yeah. Obviously people are reading about the music in the mag and all this kind of stuff, but that is the base level. You're putting on an amazing live show and people are going, you need to see
that's
this.
it. It's not at the end of the day, for as much as the band gets successful and people can say they're a mainstream band now or anything like that, give me a break. This is not mainstream music. It is driven by people who have a connection to the sound and to the show and everything like that. And that is the thing which we will always come back to, because it's not something you can erase from your memory, or who you are, the feeling of standing on a stage and connecting with that many people and having the music be the thing that is celebrated and that is drawing everyone together at that point in time, and that the heightened experience. You can doubt anything you want, but that feeling is something which is so unique that once you felt it, you can't unfeel it. And we just want to continue growing what that is. And at any time someone gives us a bigger sandbox to play in a different venue, we have big imaginations for how this is going to work, because that's the other thing. When you have to learn how to do this stuff yourself, you know how it works and you know what the possibilities are, rather than someone telling you what the possibilities are.
That's true.
When you stop listening to what people tell you the limit of things are and you start just going, well, what can we do? And you start applying that, that's when it gets really interesting.
How nice to see as well, like you say, not a mainstream band. It's not a mainstream type of music. That shouldn't stop your ambition. That shouldn't stop you from going into arena and going, no, we will do the level of pyro and level of show that any massive act that plays that room should. Yeah,
that's it, exactly. Because why not?
Yeah.
Because why not? That's the thing, and it's what we love, and that's what it's always come down to. It is a risk. It is a risk in the sense of this is everything that we have. This puts food on the plates of ourselves and our families, and not just that now, but the crew that work there, they work their ass off harder than we ever do. So shout out to anyone who works in the music industry that's not in a band on stage and that does that grind, because you're amazing.
Important stuff.
Yeah, it is, and they create the show. But if the show goes wrong, and we miscalculate, then they lose jobs. So that's a heavy thing to carry.
Sure.
It's a heavy responsibility. That's the thing that you weigh up every time you do something, and that's the thing that you carry, which is what we learn these days. So and that makes you take it seriously as well. Yeah. So yeah.
No, it's good to take it seriously. I love your ambition with it. I really do, and it's going to be so exciting to see what you guys do next. Really, especially in the live space. I think it's a fascinating journey to watch.
I'm pumped. It's really neat. Like, it's really neat to be able to really have no limit on to be at this level and know that the tank is not just like running empty. It keeps getting fuller and fuller in terms of the ambition and what you wish to create in every sense of what this band does, and to be this far into what we do and have every day feel like it's another step towards something even greater in terms of what lives up here is pretty weird thing, because I would have expected it to go the other way at this point.
Well, I'm glad it didn't. Glad it's worked out. Glad it's worked out very well. Man, congratulations on everything, especially this new film. Go check it out, everybody. And obviously more live shows, more new music to come. We're very excited to see it all, man.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Cheers.
Winston, everybody.